This boxing sucks, eh? Or at least that's what all the comments are saying. This video made its rounds on the internet of Andrew Tate hitting some pads, doing some pad work in front of his house, and seemingly looked kind of terrible. Before I give my take, let me tell you this. I'm not the best martial artist, but I do have some experience. Alhamdulillah, I've trained in kickboxing and Muay Thai. I competed a bit. I've medaled before, which doesn't really mean much. And alhamdulillah, I've even had an MMA fight, back before I even had facial hair. I also figured out what my own blood tasted like. It tasted like iron. And I have my blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which again, doesn't mean too much. It means I know just enough to get my butt whooped. Hair was pretty cool though. What I'm trying to say is I'm not a world champion by any stretch of the imagination, but I have a few hours on the mats. So let's dissect this video. Just watching this video seemed a little sloppy, a little awkward, a little clumsy, right? And I agree. So here are my thoughts on why. Number one, this was right after Andrew Tate got out of prison, out of administrative detention in Romania, whereby he was in a small cell for months. So understandably, when you come out, you're a little stiff. If I don't train for a few months and I come back and do little jiu-jitsu, little wrestling, little boxing, kickboxing, I feel stiff and clumsy and out of shape. It takes a couple of minutes to get back into the groove and really get that flow. Number two, this could actually be a new sequence. Could be a new training sequence that he's not used to, and therefore there isn't much flow yet, and it's just a little awkward trying to get used to it. It might take a little while before he actually flows with it. And number three, everybody's favorite. Comment sections were filled with, he's not a real fighter, his fighting career is fake, and all that stuff. Now, just to be honest, that's highly unlikely because his fighting career and his fights are verifiable. His belts and championships are verifiable. You could still argue that he's not as good of a fighter as he pretends to be, or that his record is a little padded, which happens in boxing too all the time. But to say that it's not real, I mean, he won those fights, he won those belts, European championships, so kind of a hard sell. Also, we have previous footage of him training and doing pad work and everything. He looked a lot better before going to prison in Romania for the alleged offenses that he's been cleared of. Anyways, this video is not about his conversion, not about his Islam, and not about any of that stuff, but it's just about the fighting video, and if it looks like he's a real fighter or not. I would say real fighter, and a little stiff, new sequence, and just a matter of time before he flows and gets back into it. Salam.